What's up, guys? Jags Nation back at it again with another video. In today's video, I'm going to go ahead and do a recap from the Jaguars Broncos game. Happened this past Sunday, so about 2 days ago. And it's going to be a short video, just a recap and like my thoughts of some of the things that happened in the game. So let's get into it. So in the first quarter, the Broncos ended up scoring. I believe Joe Flacco threw a touchdown pass to Noah Fant. Some of the worst tackling I've ever seen. Even though there should have been a flag on the Broncos because of illegal men downfield, but I mean the refs miss calls on us, calls on them. It's just part of the game. Refs these days just miss a bunch of calls, so not going to complain too much about that. But yeah, definitely need to work on tackling, especially from that drive. Overall, I thought the defense from the whole game itself played okay. No sacks. We got one turnover by Ronnie Harrison, got an interception. We did get pressure to Joe Flacco. You can tell he was made him a little. Not scared in the pocket, but made him get the ball quick. And also, I think that had to do with no sacks, as he got the ball pretty quickly. So later on in the game, we ended up getting a field goal. Josh Lambo hit like a 25 or 26-yard field goal, so they made 7-3. Then in the second quarter, this is when the Broncos started kind of pulling away. Cortland Sutton got a touchdown from Joe Flacco, and then they also kicked the field goal, and that made it 17-3 with about a minute 30 left, and they were driving downfield, and that's when Ronnie Harrison intercepted Joe Flacco. He had a nice return, probably returned to about 20 or maybe between 15 and 25 yards, but he was dodging tackles left and right. Eventually got to about a little past midfield, like the 40-yard line, so we were able to get some field position, let Josh Lambo kick a field goal, so it ended up being 17-6 going into half. And I think a lot of Jags fans, including myself, we thought we were in trouble. We thought this game was pretty much over because just Joe Flacco on the offense, they were just passing all over us. Our run defense, I thought, did a pretty good job for the whole game. I don't even how many. Yeah, Philip Lindsay had a 53 rushing yards, so our run defense did really good. Pass defense did okay. AJ Boye, I thought, had a fabulous game. DJ Hayden had a good game, but Trey Herndon got beat up a lot. There's definitely a pretty big drop off from Trey Herndon and Jalen Ramsey in the game than AJ Boye and Trey Herndon. And that's not, that's not taken away from AJ or Trey Herndon. It's just, Jalen Ramsey's just like a freak of a nature, and just arguably the best corner in the league. And yeah, there's definitely a big drop off there. But we're not talking about Ramsey because he didn't play, and until he plays another game for the Jags, I'm not gonna really bring him up that much. So then we get into the third quarter, and Jags, man, they dominated this whole quarter. I think they had like 11 or 12 minutes of total offense, maybe even 13. I think the Broncos only had almost 3 minutes. That was all they had in the third quarter. We had a nice drive with Minshew when it was like a 3rd and 15, a 3rd and 16, and he avoided sacks, and he called out some receivers to come forward and hit Keelan Cole on the third down pass to put us in a first down, and then we were able to eventually gain a few more yards, got to about like the 10-yard line, 12-yard line around there, and man, Minshew just avoided so many sacks, and he found Raquel Armstead in the back of the end zone. Just a fabulous job by Armstead and Minshew having that connection. Armstead realized that Minshew was in trouble, and he had to get away from his man. And then Minshew only had a split second to make a decision if he was going to throw the ball away or run it or what. But he once he avoided that one of those should have been sacks, he threw it in the back of the end zone for Armstead and got the touchdown. So we ended up making the score 17-13, and then we had a 3-and-out. The Broncos did. DeJuan Smoot had a lot of pressure, almost got a sack on them, but they pretty much blitzed Flacco. But definitely Smoot got a lot of the pressure on that one. So a 3-and-out made a punt. And this is when Leonard Fournette turned on for a 80-something yard run, and you can tell it wasn't going to be that direction of a run because Gardner Minshew went up and yelled "kill, kill, kill," and switched it up, and then Leonard Fournette, they switched it to a different run play, and Leonard Fournette got 80-something yards. You can definitely tell he was just getting tired when he got down to like the 25-yard line, and he ended up getting tackled, I think, within like the 15. And then later on, we ended up getting a false start. No, not false start. I think it was a holding. I can't remember. Holding or false start, one of those. And it put us back in, I believe, a 2nd and 16 or 3rd and 16. And then we did a nice fake where we pretended to throw to Dede, pretended to throw it to Leonard Fournette, and we actually hit James O'Shaughnessy for a touchdown. So Minshew and just the play calling, you got John D. Filippo a lot of credit. He had some great play calling in this game, and he's definitely using the strengths of the players, like what's best for them, not just like what's best for the team, what's best for those players, and that's just going to make this offense a lot better. All right, so then in the fourth quarter, we were able to control some more clock, kick a field goal, and put it up 23-17 with about 2 minutes left around there. And then, but Flacco and their offense drove down there in like less than a minute, it seemed like, and found Cortland Sutton in the back of the end zone for a touchdown. But even though they put them up 24-23, it left Minshew with like a minute 30 left, a minute 20 left, and Minshew drove down the field thanks to a roughing the passer penalty, and then D.D. Westbrook ended up catching a nice pass for like 30 yards. Chris Conley got a nice pass where he caught it and drug some defenders down to the 10-yard line. And then we called timeout with 4 seconds left. Josh Lambo hit the game-winning field goal, and we won 26-23. So overall, exciting game in the second half for us. Definitely not the first 2 quarters. It was definitely miserable. I thought we were about to get blown out because the Broncos were definitely desperate for a win. But the Broncos did get some sacks. They had 0 sacks in the whole year. I think they had 5 sacks. Von Miller had 2, so definitely a coming-out party for Von Miller. Congrats to Von Miller for his 100th career sack. That's a huge accomplishment. But yeah, overall, I thought the second half was really good. Leonard Fournette had like 160-something yards just in the second half alone. And I was actually happy to see Armstead. Hopefully they use him more, and just not because it was Denver with the high playing in Denver. It's just too tough to play in Denver, and people get tired there. So I'm hoping that it just wasn't the case. That's the only reason we used Armstead, because you can tell he's similar to Fournette, but definitely kind of a change of the back tee. I think he's a little bit faster than Fournette, and it just gives Fournette a breather knowing that he can actually run the ball well and catch the ball. So that's definitely going to help a lot. So now let's get into like the player reviews. I thought Gardner Minshew, he was 19 for 33, 213 yards, 2 touchdowns. I thought he had a decent game. I'm going to give him probably a B+. I'm going to give him an A- because he didn't turn the ball over. He avoided a bunch of sacks. He probably should have been sacked 8 or 9 times, but only got sacked 5 times. He made some clutch throws. There was actually one pass in, I think, like one of the first passes in the game. He actually threw a deep ball to Chris Conley, and it looked like Chris Conley just stopped running. If he would have kept running, I think he might have hit Chris Conley in stride. So that was definitely Chris Conley's fault. I think he even said on the sideline next time he's going to keep running. So yeah, so Gardner Minshew, I'll give him an A-. Thought he had a pretty good game. Leonard Fournette, I thought had a fabulous game. Wish he would have had a touchdown, but he had 225 yards rushing. He was only like almost about 15 yards shy of breaking the Jaguars record for the most rushing in the game, currently held by Fred Taylor. D.D. Westbrook led with 5 receptions and 66 yards, so he had a pretty good game, especially like that clutch catch, the 30-yarder in the fourth quarter, like with a minute left to get us in field goal range. So, I mean, I think, like I said before in my other videos, I think our wide receiver group's definitely underrated with DJ Chark, D.D. Westbrook, Chris Conley. Marquise Lee had a crucial third down catch, his first catch of the year, and Keelan Cole had a nice third down catch. DJ Chark did have a touchdown called back because Cam Robinson got called for illegal use of hands to the face, which was the right call. Offense line, I thought, did not do a good job in the passing game. He got sacked, like I said, 5 times, but probably should have been sacked 8 or 9. A bunch of stupid penalties like false starts, holding, just stuff like that. But I thought the run blocking was really good, and I thought Andrew Norwell had a kind of his breakout game this year, especially in the run department, because Leonard Fournette was running open, a lot of holes in the offensive line. Defense, no sacks, like I said, but we got a lot of pressure. Clay's had some pressure. Josh Allen had some pressure. DeJuan Smoot had some pressure. Yannick had a few pressures there. DJ Hayden, like I said, had a good game. AJ Boye had a good game. Who else? Ronnie Harrison had the pick. He had a couple of good tackles, the interception, to return it for almost in field goal range. Trey Herndon was definitely the weakest link on the defense, but it was only his second career start, so hopefully he can learn from this and get better, because I don't know if Ramsey's going to play versus the Panthers. So if it's going to be Boye versus Boye and Herndon for here on out throughout the season, then hopefully Herndon gets better. If not, he can try other players out like Breon Borders, number 31. Maybe you give him a shot eventually. I still want to see Trey Herndon get a few more starts before everyone starts like trashing him. Basically, like he had one bad game. I thought he had a good game against the Texans. So we definitely need to give him another chance. Linebackers, I thought, played good. Quincy Williams continues to impress. That dude's been balling since like week 2. Week 1, the whole defense didn't have a good game. So from week 2, from now, Quincy Williams, the third-round rookie, is balling out. Miles Jack, I thought, had a good game. Overall, I thought special teams had a good game, especially with tackling. Logan Cook had a not that good game, but he's punting in like 17 to 20 mile per hour wind, so you can't ask much from him. But yeah, overall, I thought, like I said, the second half was all Jags. First half was basically all Broncos. Overall, I enjoyed the game just because we won, obviously. So now we're 2-2. Everyone in our division's 2-2. And I think we have a chance to really run this tables. It's going to be a hard schedule, not really hard schedule, but a winnable schedule, but tough opponents. You got the Panthers coming up, who have one of the best defenses in the league. You got the Saints. Even without Drew Brees, they look pretty good. Teddy Bridgewater's doing enough to get them wins. Then you got the Bengals. I'm not in the trash on the Bengals, but, we should. And then you got the Jets. I don't know if Sam Darnold will be back for that one. And then after that, we got the Houston Texans in London. So definitely a lot of winnable games, and still going to be tough games. Anyone can win any given Sunday. So yeah, this, like I said, this Sunday against the Panthers, I'll probably put a preview video out, hopefully Friday. I might even try to do it Thursday night before the Thursday night game with the Seahawks and Rams. But yeah, Jaguars won on Sunday, 26-24, moved to 2-2, and hopefully we win this weekend and go to 3-2. So let's go Jags.